Auto-known copyrights.
As AI is growing with its opportunities, so those the ethical questions. This is not one of those videos talking about dangers of having deepfakes around politics or such, but rather the dangers everyday people will face. And you may not be the exception. Just as we can see Hollywood using this technology of deepfakes to bring back a younger looking version or from a deceased one, it creates amazing opportunities to bring new stories to the world. And I love every second of Luke in The Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett. I never had concerns with what we saw in Rogue One, but the question started from there, when deceased actors returned to the big screen. Does the movie industry own your face? I don't know anything about the agreements between actors and studios when it comes to these questions, but I'm asking myself if this is right. If Will Smith never wanted to make another Bad Boys film, or Daniel Craig never signed for more than one Bond film, could the studios do them with deepfakes? I would assume not. When James Earl Jones retired from doing the voice to Darth Vader, the studio is allowed to continue to use his voice through artificial intelligence, just as they have done with Luke Skywalker.
I am what remains.
But what if this happened with appearances and the scenario with Will Smith and Daniel Craig? Could the studio make minor changes like wrinkles or scars and claim that this is just someone who looks similar? After all, we do have lookalikes around the world. We are getting closer to the dark scenario this Swedish philosopher talked about, and this is something you have to think about deeply.
Just be yourselves. Hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? I'm Jake.
Pleasure to be here.
Nice to meet you. Nico. Hey, Nick.
Good to meet you.
Clinton. I've heard a lot about you. How's Taz Tether going? Is it good? You got the financing yet?
Nothing is limited anymore to Hollywood studios. Today, anyone can create amazing visual storytelling from the computer and smartphone with a low budget. Free programs like Blender or Unreal Engine gives you the chance to create worlds or video games that looks realistic. And with sites like YouTube, creators can make their way into Hollywood by uploading their own creations. And deepfakes are not limited at all when it comes to this. The technology to create realistic deepfakes has been proven by simple YouTube clips, even showing people
rabbit hole gets deep, ladies and gentlemen.
Studios.
Nothing is real.
And what you see is not real.
Usually this comes as satire or just as a way to show the possibilities.
Spiritual warfare, this is all not real.
I think people are really going to believe that we're a couple.
I think most people will believe.
It's all evil, y'all.
VFX Channel Corridor has done experiments with AI, and along them they have brought up the ethics and consequences of it. On their podcast, along with Blender guru Andrew Price, they talked about the issues that can occur with AI.
If they do this, think about how they could frame a person and make somebody look like they're doing something or saying something, and it's not even that person. Think about that.
That had politicians saying and doing stuff that was not them, obviously.
See?
That was 94. Okay, so the difference is they needed a huge team of very skilled artists to make that look real, whereas now it can be done by a 13-year-old on his little crappy computer.
A good argument that was brought up is how softwares like Photoshop has existed for decades and given people the power to alternate reality. There's a link in description if you want to hear more of their opinion and theories. Yes, Photoshop does give us the chance to basically do whatever we want with images, and I can't tell what major problems has occurred with it when you can always say, it's Photoshop.
So there's this photo online of me. I'm sure you've seen it. I never wore that shirt. This was completely photoshopped. Everyone thinks it's real, but that's not the truth. This is what it really said. Stop being desperate. Don't believe everything you read.
Videos are more complicated.
I heard about it, and I did see it, and it's a Photoshop.
We say no.
Blackmailing someone through distorted images can be a problem, but also disproven through originals. Same actually goes with video footage, but what if not a single pixel was real in the first place? If there is not a single original footage, how do we prove ourselves innocent? Imagine getting blackmailed through images or videos that never existed in the first place. Can we say to the public or to our spouse who think we cheated, it's a deep fake? Same goes with sounding similar to someone.
My passport, my toothbrush, my lines, my performance. Whoa, where did that go?
Sometimes it makes me sad, but then I remind myself that.
Can we claim that it's not us talking?
Some tapes are making the rounds of Kim Kardashian, and she's talking trash. This is years ago. It seems to be a voicemail that she left Ray J, where it's not the sweet little Kim K that she presents today. She's nasty. She's calling Whitney Houston a crackhead, and she's yelling at Ray J.
It's Kim. I just want you to know that I think you are so disgusting.
Could Kim Kardashian claim that it's not her own voice in this recording? Can you say, it's not my voice? Okay, so deepfakes in movies and the possibility to make up events that never happened. What does this got to do with the discussion the panel had about freedom of speech and cartoons of children being depicted in a sexual way? So we can imagine all dark scenarios based on deepfakes, but this argument, given 2012, is one of the darkest scenarios, and unfortunately nobody seemed to answer to it properly or take it seriously. We could tell back in the days what's CGI and not, but things are getting more advanced. Imagine a sex tape is released of your underage child being beaten and having sex against its will. Can you press charges against the man behind the video if nothing was real in the first place? Because if it's just fiction, is it a crime?
Och det går inte att skilja detta från en spelfilm. Det är omöjligt. Och sen ställer jag mig på Hötorget. Kom och köp de här filmerna.
Det kan vi gärna ha.
Är inte detta problematiskt?
Men så länge det är filmer som vänder sig till vuxna människor och det är animerat, det är fortfarande påhittat, det har aldrig hänt. Annars får vi börja förbjuda för en jävla massa filmer om vi ska ta bort allting som är vidrigt.
Nej.
The question never got answered properly in the panel, but rather they brought up that if it's still animated and the fact that there was a movie that was banned in Sweden that already contained pedophilia, known as a Serbian film. So there are always someone who looks similar to you, and there is freedom of expression is a topic that always been discussed and continued to.
But in the future, you're going to be able to watch an artificial version of that person do everything. Commit murder, fuck herself with a cross. There will be no person that has actually done it. But that uncanny valley between like artificial CGI rendered images and what we know to be real images, like the way your mind can discern the difference, that'll be gone in 10 years.
The person that leaked, I guess Scarlett Johansson is the person that retaliated. He went to jail for 8 years for just releasing a nude photo. So maybe if the punishment is severe enough, people will be deterred from doing it. I don't know.
But how can we have severe punishment when we can't tell what's real or not? I hope this sparks the question to the average person who can fall into these traps. Do I want my voice to be public? Should I post selfies on social media? Will I have a law that can protect me? Will this ever happen to me?